everyone, and welcome to NameHero.com. In today's video tutorial, I want to talk about an upcoming conference for resellers. If you're familiar with us here at NameHero, you know we power thousands of resellers across the globe, and we have a ton of training on our YouTube channel here as well as our blog on how to power your business or how to further power your business to success. So next week in Houston, Texas, cPanel is going to be holding their annual conference, and this is one of those conferences that I absolutely love. I'm a huge fan of cPanel and the entire cPanel software. We've been using it. I've been using it for 20 years, and we've been using it here at NameHero, and we really love the things that they're doing and the continued development of the project. And you know, it's one of those pieces of software that never ceases to amaze me, because every time an issue seems to come up, they take input from the community and they implement the issue. So it's just a really amazing company, and I'm just so impressed at what they continue to do there. And every year they have this annual conference where everyone gets together from cPanel, and they invite vendors and stuff from across the globe that come in, and they have educational sessions and speaking, which I'll talk about here in just a second. And again, it's just a conference to really not only get an education, but also to mingle with people in the industry. It's one thing about owning and operating a company, you know, besides my day-to-day interactions with employees, and then of course we have vendors and stuff that we talk with on the phone, it's nice to meet people face-to-face. And this is why I like conferences, because it allows, you know, me to get outside of the computer, outside of the office, and be able to see some different faces of people that I work with on a daily basis, as well as meet new people that I'm eventually going to start working with, because that's kind of how the connections go. So I've typed up a blog post here on the NameHero Startup blog, namehero.com/startup, if you'd like to read it, where I just kind of lay out the details of the conference, you know, and I put my experience too. When I graduated college in 2008, you know, nearly 10 years after I started, or before I started working online in 98, then I graduated college in 2008. And, you know, during those 10 years, I really didn't travel a whole lot. I was young and, you know, really didn't have that independence that I had when I graduated college. And when I did, you know, I wanted to grow my professional network. And one of the ways I did that, and did it quite rapidly, was beginning to attend every industry conference that I could get to. And so one, it empowered me and gave me the ability to travel many different places that I'd never have been, but also allowed me to meet people that would become lifetime friends, and also secure these connections that's helped with my success. You know, here at NameHero, cPanel conference specifically has allowed me to meet many of the vendors we work with, many of the CEOs of the vendors we work with, that are able to place me with the different account reps and connections. So anytime we have an issue with a piece of software, you know, I know a face, I've met a face to face that I can reach out to, and then most of the time they're really happy to hear from me, and you know, we get things sorted much quicker. So, you know, if you're a reseller and, you know, you're active in the industry, this is your opportunity to get out from the computer and go attend. Last year they had it in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and if you're kind of curious of, you know, what they have at cPanel, I encourage you to click on this link here, and you can head over here. You can type 2017 cPanel Conference Review NameHero into Google, and this will come up, or you can navigate to our blog and type it in here. But I kind of, you know, went over my thoughts on it, and I really did like Fort Lauderdale last year, because it was late September, but it was still warm enough to where I made a mini vacation out of it. So I did the conference for a couple of days, and then I actually brought my family, and we did a little beach vacations afterwards. But it was a really great trip, and you can see I tried to give my input on a couple of the sessions that I attended. This year they're going to have, you know, the same type of educational sessions, and now obviously it's different topics, because of course a year in internet time is, you know, quite the timeline there. So a lot of stuff changes, but you know, there's still going to be many of the familiar faces. So if you kind of want to see what I thought of the conference last year, I was really impressed, and you know, I'd certainly planned on coming to the conference this year. You know, sometimes, and I learned this in 2008 when I graduated college, some conferences I would hit and I'd be like, well, you know, it was nice just to get out, but it really wasn't worth it. But the cPanel conference is one that is worth it. It's one to where you're going to make connections. And I think the early bird pricing was $99 to register. And unfortunately, it's past that now, but I think it's $199 now. But still, that's very affordable into comparison to what some of these conferences can be. So, you know, if you can't afford it, I certainly recommend it. It's going to be a very good one. And we're going to get, you know, a lot of education out of it. And Houston, Texas is a city, and as I put in my blog post here, back when Brent had HostGator, I used to always consider Houston the kind of the capital of web hosting, because once HostGator opened up offices there and started hiring like they did, I mean, they began hiring just all kinds of people. It drove a lot of people in the web hosting industry to Houston, and there's many other companies there now. cPanel, this is where their headquarters is, and there's many other web hosts that have locations there too. So I'm looking forward to going and seeing some people that we work with here at NameHero, some resellers we work with, as well as all the vendors that are going to be kind of getting together. So I think Houston was really a great pick for the venue. I know last year it would have been impossible because they had that horrible hurricane. So, and this is the first time I've been to Houston since that tragic event. So, I'll be glad and happy to see, the rebuilding of Houston, because that was certainly a tragedy. Now, I will say, I know that once I publish this video and also this blog post, that people are going to be reaching out about a meeting. Unfortunately, my meeting schedule is jam-packed. I only have a couple days to be at the conference. So, if I didn't get a meeting booked with you and you wanted to, I'm really, really sorry. Feel free to send me a note. And, if anything, falls through or I get a time slot open, I can see what I can do. But, for the most part, unfortunately, I am booked solid. I will be wandering around the halls, though. So if you see me, make sure you say hi, because, see if you've typed me in an email or, chatted with me before, I might not have seen your face. You might have to tell me how you know me. But I am going to be speaking on at this security roundtable on Wednesday. cPanel, the kind folks over there were kind enough to ask me to sit on that panel and kind of share some of my experience with the security of cPanel. Security is something I take extremely serious here at NameHero, and it's something I've taken serious in all of my online businesses for the last 20 years. There's really, security is the backbone. Things have to be secured. So on this panel, I'm going to be talking a lot about the day-to-day challenges that we see with cPanel and kind of what you need to do to keep cPanel secure. And the audience is mostly going to be other resellers and web hosting companies. So I look forward to sharing my input. And there's some really great names on this panel. So really looking forward to sitting alongside these guys and listening to them share their experience, and also taking some questions. So if you're going to be around the conference on Wednesday, that session, that's the last day, and it's from 4:00 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. So make sure that you stop by and see that if you're going to be attending. If you are in the Houston area or you're within traveling distance, for me, it's just a quick, I think, hour and a half flight. So it's really quick to get down there. And I do know there's some people I've talked to that are coming, from international flights. Houston has two great airports to get into, so they make it pretty easy to get to. So if you can make it and you are in the industry, this is going to be a good one. I put on here that HostingCon used to be a big one. This is what, all the web hosts used to attend back when iNet Interactive owned HostingCon, and then Penton acquired it, and then unfortunately, I think once Informa acquired them, they decided to do away with the HostingCon conference. The HostingCon was another really good one, I thought, but unfortunately, things happen and they don't have it anymore. So really, cPanel conference is probably arguably the best one around to go to. It's where you're going to meet up with a lot of good softwares, a lot of good people, and also really get your bang for your buck. I mean, again, the tickets are at $199 now, and it's definitely worth at least that. So I've put the information on here. If it's something you're interested in, it's October 1st through 3rd. It's in Houston. It's at the Westin Galleria is the conference hotel. I think they still have some discounted rooms on there. I put their address and stuff, and as well as the registration link if you want to click through to that. If I head over here to the cPanel conference website, so it's conference.cpanel.com. They talk a little bit about, they actually don't talk a little about, they have the full agenda on there. So, and you can see these sponsors, the sponsors are companies that, obviously are sponsoring the event, but they're also going to have representatives. So for resellers, WHMCS is a huge one. This is a company that we work very, very much with at NameHero. So I can't wait to get down there and talk to all my friends from WHMCS, and Cloud Linux is another one, Jet Backup, Komodo. I mean, all of these pieces of software are going to be there in companies, not just software. So, I'm looking forward to seeing all of them. We work with, almost every company on this list. But outside of that, they've got the agenda. Well, here's the agenda. of everything that's going to go on. Me personally, I kind of review this leading up and make notes about the sessions that I want to attend. And then I also, when I'm making a list, I also list some questions that I have or might want to ask if I get the opportunity, because after most of the sessions, they always ask, is there questions? Or sometimes if it's, runs too long, you can go up and ask the speaker afterwards. Sometimes they'll take questions. So, if you're a reseller host, I recommend doing that, kind of note down the ones that most interest you and are relevant to your business. And then if you have some questions, it's a great time to ask. I know just by looking, scrolling through here, I can think of, at least 20, 30 questions that I have, throughout cumulatively through all these sessions that I plan on getting answered, that will help NameHero continue to grow at the speed we are. And also, give me some background to why some things are the way they are. Sometimes companies make changes and I always wonder, why did they do that? Well, this is the opportunity to meet face to face and really where I can share my experience with, the changes it's made or the development and, maybe my concerns I have and get answers, right face to face. And it's just so much more efficient than calling someone up or even sending an email, because there's, I know in a world of technology with social media, it's easy to just kind of use that as a communication channel, but there really is no substitute for those face to face meetings. So, I'm really looking familiar. Look at this one here, how to back up 15,000 cPanel accounts in less than 7 hours. That's a lot of cPanel accounts for a server. Now, at NameHero, we don't put 15,000 accounts on a server. Even our biggest servers, we don't do that, but, I'm sure there are people that do. And, I'm sorry, I'm not calling you out if you do that. I just don't think that's a good idea, but that's just me. Anyways, it's going to be a good conference. Looking forward to going. It's, it starts Monday. I think Monday they just have kind of like their kickoff dinner or not kickoff dinner. It's a reception sponsored by the fine folks at WHMCS. And WHMCS is also a company that is based in Houston. So, me personally, with the relationship we have, the great relationship we have with WHMCS, I look forward to seeing and meeting with many of their representatives in their company. Then things get kicked off about 8:30 on Tuesday and then runs through Wednesday afternoon, with the security panel kind of being one of the last things out there. So, I look forward to seeing you all. Those from cPanel that's watching this, I really appreciate all of you guys and gals throwing this conference and putting it on. It is, one of my favorites, and it's one of those that, I certainly make a point to go to every year. And I hope that, cPanel will continue this next year. So, I can continue. I will be posting an update or a kind of a recap, just like I did last year on the conference. So I can, let everyone know my thoughts, what I thought about it. And, I look forward to hearing other people's experience. So if you attend, and let me know what you think as well in the comment section. But anyways, that's what's going down next week. NameHero is going to be there. I'm going to be with our Vice President of Operation, Joshua Hawkins. So I know he's looking forward to attending as well and getting to meet some people that he deals with on a day-to-day basis, working as our Operations Director here at NameHero. So thanks a bunch for watching. Feel free to share this video with others that might be on the fence about whether to go or not. And if you're a reseller, again, this is a conference to where you can really get out there and meet some other people like you and get some ideas for your business and, get the opportunity to see us from NameHero. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.